Hello, welcome to Greenwood today. It's a bit of a sunny day. We're doing an open workshop tomorrow. We've got students coming along bringing their trees. We've just had a delivery, like midsummer delivery of nursery stock trees. So I've just been working my way through some nursery stock and just thought I'd show you some of the trees that we've had arrive and what we're doing to them. I just got a little bit of time this afternoon, been working on them all day. I've got some dwarf black pines, Kotobuki, Palmerston Burgii Kotobuki. These are a bit taller when we got them in. I've just trimmed them down like that. And then some of them, the ones with a nicer shape, I've just picked them out. And a few of them, I've took them out of these pots, put them into just a little plastic training pot just to start them on. Good little trees for people to have a fiddle about. We've got some Hinoki cypresses here that are grafted on a little stem. And I've been trimming a few of these here as well. Got some Chinese Junipers here. Oldish ones, just a few of these. We've got these in smaller sizes on the website also. We've got some more Japanese white pines over here. So these will be going out for sale a bit like this. There's a few things we can do to them. We might put them out for sale like this. When this material turns up, you never quite know what it's going to look like. So for garden use, you can plant it out like this, or for bonsai use. Sometimes I sort of do little bits of pruning on these just to sort of take this heavy coarse growth out the top. This is very thick, look, from here. It's 8 or 10 mil thick all the way up to the top. So if we take it out like that and we shorten these sections of heavy growth back, then usually this sort of thing is a more saleable tree for us bonsai enthusiasts. Look, can you see against the screen over there? So you never quite know what to do with stuff like this, because a bonsai person's rather going to buy this, aren't they? But then if you want it for garden, it might be better to put it out like that. So we do a few, we trim a few back and we leave a few tall. And then these have come in as well. I bought these and I didn't notice that I bought them from a list that they're on a stem. So these are a tall stem and the white pine's been grafted on at this point. So I've been working on, well, I did one of these earlier and I've wired it and shaped it. So I want to show you how to do one of them. If we take that cane out for a start, there's a few little buds at the base. These are a little bit flexible. We're going to try bending one of them in a little while. But let's just do this juniper first, because this is on my trolley. And I've just got a handful of these. They're hard to get, these larger size Chinese Junipers. And like I say, when you put them out like this, you never know whether to put them out on the bench like this, and people will buy them. But I think it's worth just a little bit of a sort of spend 5 minutes just trying to get a bit more shape to them. So first of all, look, I don't really want to style these myself as such, but I like to sort of maybe just start people off, give them a few pointers, just sort of map it out. I mean, these have been growing quite tall and a little bit, you know, these are quite tall and they'll just carry on growing with that height, and we want some sort of width to them. So it's worth sort of knocking the tops of them back at this time of year, just so that they can be better for bonsai use. So what I normally do is I just have a little ferret around here just for a few minutes, find the base of the trunk like that, and then rub a little bit of this growth out, some dead bits of growth, some little wispy bits, and then try and decide what we might do for the future of this tree. So we might just briefly, on this one, look, towards you've got 3 main trunks split in here, another one at the back, this one here, so that could be used as a back branch potentially. So if I shorten it back like this, and then maybe we can have a front in here towards you guys. So if we did that, then this will make a nice sort of left hand branch or trunk. So if this came back to back here, and then if we took this top, we want a bit more height to that. So if we just shorten that back like that, and then this one here wants to be not as tall as this, but different than this. So maybe if we add this one to about, maybe shorter, maybe somewhere in here. And then we knock some of these tips back again, just to taper it in a little bit at the top. And this is just sort of making it a bit more organised, so without sort of burning any bridges, just cutting off the stuff that you definitely don't need, and either it'll be purchased like this, or in a few months' time, once the top's been taken out of these sections, it'll encourage this to back bud. So at the moment here, see that main section, these branches are quite narrow, there's just sort of 2 inches long on either side, but now this is cut back, these will get a lot wider and thicken out a little bit more. And then this section here splits into 2. We might just gin this section at the back, and I've got a few. I did one of these just a minute ago, and that's why I thought it was quite interesting, and perhaps do a little film to show you. So that one, we can just take the bark off and gin the top of that, just to give somebody a little bit of an idea of where to go with it. And then we can drop it back in the pot, and then maybe this section here just wants to pull out a little bit, so just a little bit of wire and hook it on there, or take it out, make a little bit of a hole in the side of the pot, just ever so basic, and we'll wire that out like this, just coil it round just to spread it out. So just with 5 minutes of pruning, it's given somebody, you know, somebody might be a bit might find it a bit daunting, look, to buy one of these off me on the bench. They might look at this and think, well, what can I do with that? It's too big a tree for me to tackle. And you see on this one how narrow this growth is. So this narrow growth, we want these to be wider. So shortening this top back will put the energy into this. So with a few minutes of work from something like this to something like this, people gives them a bit more of an idea of where they can go with the tree. There's another one over here, look. This is the one I just did earlier. And this one, same sort of thing. I've just managed to pull a little branch down, and round this side, torn bark down here, and just the start of some gin work. I've left these unfinished, you know, that's fine. I've just cut them, took the bark off, and then you can let this wood dry out, and the new owner can carve them or take them back or shape them or whatever. But with this sort of thing, it just gives people a little bit of a, I'd say a little bit of a head start from that to that. Yeah? So we're doing this sort of work, which is quite interesting. And like I said earlier, I've also bought a bunch of these pines, and half of them turned up looking like this. So we're going to pop a little bit of wire on this, see if we can't shape it. And again, it's all about trying to make it look a little bit more usable for bonsai use. It's been grafted here. There's a little knuckle where it was grafted. Take that out, and then we'll take it out of the pot. Just get rid of some of this top soil, sort of bark chippings, just so we can find the base. A little bit off the roots, just at the top, just to tidy it up. Like so. And then we'll get a bit of 6mm wire. Something like this. Just see if we can get a bit of shape into this. Just as a bit of fun. Just to try and move it on a little bit. I think some of these trees, we might put them out straight like this, and some people might buy them to a bit of interest as a patio tree. But let's see if we can make something more interesting. So a bit of 6mm wire, in at the base, and it's a fairly heavy duty bend on this. Up here to the top, and then just try and see if I can feed it through in this section a little bit more. Take a few of these needles off. So we had about, I don't know, Joshua, what do we have? About 250 trees turn up now, maybe more. 350 trees arrived this morning. This sort of nursery stock and some smaller stuff been working on. So that's a bit of 6mm wire. And then I'm just going to put a second piece on as well. Slightly thinner, bit of 4mm. Because for speed, I've not wrapped this trunk in raffia or anything like that. So it's perhaps a bit more prone when I bend it to snap in between these coils. So there's an insurance policy to potentially prevent that. I'm putting a second wire on, but I'm putting it in between the first wire, like so, to give us a bit more support. When we get up here to the top of the tree, we've actually got a branch. We've got a branch we can actually use the end of this wire on. We might have one up in here, so might be able to just sneak that wire along there and use it for something. I'll show you that in a little while. Take that along there like that. So let's go back to the bottom of the tree now and see if we can't put a little bit of movement into it. These are well, I shouldn't say these are fairly flexible. That's the last thing you say when you're bending a tree, to say that they're flexible, because you know what happens then. It's twice as likely to snap on you once you tell everyone how flexible it is. Now here at the graft, we've got to be careful because obviously it's been grafted, and here where those branches have been removed. So the inflexibility is likely to be in this region or this region. So I'm trying to not bend those sections quite as much. I'm trying to come over here like this and then back with that section. Just try and get a little bit of interest into it. And with that done, we trim this bit off here. We've got a longer branch here to this side of the tree. Just take a few needles off. This is that one that I'd wired along. Just could we bring this just swooping down like that. And again, this isn't to fully finish these trees off, but I enjoy fiddling about with things like this, and people enjoy purchasing trees like this at this sort of stage where they've sort of just been started off. People can see where they go with them from here. Just a nice little quick demo to do, just to show you what we've been up to. A couple of weeks ago I returned from my lecture tour in America. We've still got a couple of videos to edit and upload from that tour. A few of you have been asking, so they will be coming soon, but there's a fair bit of editing to do on them. Josh says there's more editing to do on them because I filmed them myself, whereas if he filmed it, it'd be less editing to do. So we thought we'd do this in the meantime, because we've had quite a few, we've probably had 10 foreign guests turn up in the last few days from all over. We've had guys from America, some from South Africa, some from Australia, and they're all asking when we're doing new videos and that sort of thing. So we said we've got some in the pipeline. So until they're edited and out, we thought we'd just do a little video today on this for you, just to keep you busy, give you something to watch and show you what we've been up to. So shorten this off, going down a bit too much, this section here, and then See if we can't just get these brought down the top of this here. We have to get this top over a little bit to the left. Just take a few of these old needles out. We've had such sort of cold weather in June. A few weeks ago, I think it's 3 weeks ago, I did a video on cutting back a Satsuki azalea, really hard back. So we're going to do a follow-up video of that in another week's time, because then it would have been a month. And we're quite excited to show you what's been happening to that tree in the last month or so and how it's progressed. So if you subscribe to us, you'll see that information when that video comes out. A little bit off here. Still more needles to take off this, but a little wire. Little wire on here, just through the front. So yeah, when these trees first turned up this morning on a straight stem like that, I thought, oh dear, why did you order those, Corin? Yeah, but then the challenge of them, I thought, well, surely we can make something of them. And the challenge of doing that is quite interesting for me. So here we've got one that's nearly finished. The front of this tree being here. I mean, this is literally not edited any time lapse out of this, so if this has took me 8 minutes or something or whatever, then it's took me 8 minutes. So it's just the start of a little something. And there we go, look, that'll be the front towards you guys. And if we just move it over there and show you, that was it before. So we've gone from this to that, and literally just a few minutes, you can see how it's going to start to develop a bit of movement from a really boring straight tree that's not really any use for bonsai. This one I wired a trunk on, but I've not done the branches yet, but you can see you can start to bring some of these branches down. So maybe I didn't make a mistake ordering these after all, and it was a good mistake, and they've been something nice to work with. So if you're in the UK and you're fancying a good like a budget or alternative to imported trees, then some of this nursery stock material is the right sort of stuff to be getting and having a go with working. And I hope you've enjoyed a quick couple of little nursery stock demonstrations for you today, and keep your eye out for more videos coming up very, very soon. Thank you very much.